Hey guys, welcome to Relly's Reality Rundown, where I talk about today's reality TV shows and what's going on with them. So I'm watching Love is Blind. I just did the recap of the wedding, the one that I was concerned about the most, the one that was most entertaining to me. And now we're going to talk about the reunion. Okay, so listen, we're going to start off with boom. Sarah Ann. Okay, listen, I don't have a problem with Sarah Ann. Y'all got a problem with Sarah Ann? I don't have a problem with Sarah Ann, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, it's going to go a little something like this. Here you go. She shot her shot, right? So she shot her shot. She sent the DM or whatever. They had the conversation. It ends up that, what's his name? Jeremy wanted to be with her. Now, look, I get it. Under normal circumstances, I think even in normal circumstances, he's in a relationship, so it's on him, right, to respect the boundaries of his relationship. So he shouldn't have stayed out all late willy-nilly. He could have gave a text message, or maybe he shouldn't have done it at all. But the truth of the matter is this. I think what we're watching are people who are having second thoughts. And I think that that's normal, right? They have been in an experiment, and they had they had connections with other people. So they had like a number one and a number two. Okay, well, so he had a number two. Things are not going as though he thought they would with his number one. So he has it in his mind. It's lurking like, I wonder what's going on with number two. She shot the shot, sent the DM, so he knew that she was still interested, which I don't think is unrealistic. If y'all fell in love in the pods and all this other stuff, then I think it's possible that there could still be feelings, right? They don't just go away. We all know that. So I'm not mad with Sarah Ann shooting her shot. Then Jeremy was like, look, I tried to reach out, and sis wasn't, I think her name was Lara, I don't know, I'm sorry. I think, and he was like, she ain't trying to hear it. And she wasn't, and good for her, right? Like, good for her. She decided, like, hell no, we won't go. I did think it was a little crazy that, right at the boathouse or whatever, like, they just going to kick up, their relationship. I get it, but that is what I think happens in this situation. Y'all are all comfortable with one another, whatever and what have you. And it's like, hey, we are broken up, so you want to go for it? Okay, sure. I think, it's weird, but I don't got a problem with Sarah Ann. So, everybody, coming at her, and like AD during the Boathouse experience, AD was like, grilling her about it. And she's like, yeah, I kind of don't appreciate it. Yeah. Also, AD, that wasn't your business. I get it. You know what I'm saying? These are your pod mates and the pod squad and all that other stuff. But she did what she did. And we have also seen like all of these things happen because people don't know what to do with that emotion. So if she feels like, I wish I had said whatever and what have you, maybe it would have made a difference. And clearly it did make a difference because they're together now. So I ain't got no beef with AD. And again, right, then people had some issue with Jessica because, Jimmy was over there talking to Jessica about the woulda, coulda, shouldas and so on and so forth. But it also lets us know that when people like you, they will rationalize your behavior. They will excuse the behavior. I think for whatever reason, the people didn't really care so much for Sarah Ann, and they had just, decided that she was a harlot, but I didn't see it that way. That's just me. And, who says that I'm right? I'm just over here giving my opinion like everybody else, right? So, and that's what I'm looking at my notes, and I'm like, yeah, like Jimmy and Chelsea, but Trevor had feelings for Chelsea, and there was a connection, and maybe, and, all of this. And when they saw each other, he kind of was like, would you have, if you had known something else, would you have made a different decision? And that's that. So then why are we not saying like that's not disrespectful of him to even ask? These are normal. It's normal for people to have gone through this experience and be wondering about how it went down, if it could have been any better, so on and so forth. So I just think that it's totally normal. And again, she just shot her shot, and I can't be mad at her, right? Like, everybody's feeling the same thing, and then, they don't all act upon it. Well, that's what makes you, and me, and her, you know what I'm saying? So let that girl, give her some grace, please. Clay expressing what he was dealing with. Loved it. I loved it. Let me tell you something. I am here for Clay. I think on the show, watching Clay, he looked like in what he gave to me, he just gave the answers that he thought he was supposed to give. Like, he was like, this sounds right. Like, this is what they want to hear. He gave a lot of that when he was fighting his, turmoil. But again, and he expressed, and he goes, I was unsure if I was lovable. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, legit, wow. And just being open and honest enough to say, like, that's what I was going through. And so she says, like, oh, you are lovable, right? So please know he wasn't playing in your face, honey, AD. He was just going through, right? I think Dave Chappelle said in one of his stand-ups, he was having a human experience. Like, can we give him some grace? He didn't have it all figured out. He was stuck. He was struggling. And he didn't want to give that struggle to you. Give that man a pat on the back. He did not do what was wanted. He did what was needed. I gotta clap it up for you, Clay. Yep, I'm a fan. I am a fan. And let me tell you something, AD, okay? You over here playing hard to get. Let me tell you something. Go round there and be with that man. You hear me? Go be with that man. He done been round there to the therapy, and he switched therapists, because therapy is a relational experience, and you got to go in there. You might not like your therapist, and that's why you got to change him. And he did all of that to understand that he is lovable, that he is a good guy, that he can be a husband. Girl, don't throw that baby out with the bathwater, because I'm telling you, somebody else gonna scoop him up. Don't play hard to get. Go round there and be with that man, okay? All right? Okay, I'm telling you. Don't miss out on a good thing, because that's what you're going to do, sis. You're going to miss out on a good thing. Clay is a good thing. This is what they talk about. Everybody in the blogs and they in the chats on the social medias, and they talk about, well, I don't want a man with potential. He already got to come potential. Listen to me. Clay is a good man. He is aware of his shit, and he is actively working on it. Clay is a good man now. He's a good man, Savannah. Go around there and be with him, girl. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. To be angry with him for seeing the process through is just totally unfair. Don't do it. You're going to miss out on a good thing. I'm telling you. Anybody know AD? Go around there and tap her on the shoulder and tell her to be with that man. Tell her that I said that she could be with that man. And if they're having trouble, well, don't you know I am a relationship coach, but also I'm an intern. And who am I seeing? Clients. And what am I seeing? Couples. Come around here and we can do a little couples therapy, and I can help get y'all a little bit more together and a little in tune. Okay? All right. Thanks. So, again, just more of my notes that he told her that he wanted to be better for her. He just needed time. Give him what he needs, AD. Damn. And so... what did I say? I'm saying to AD, like, if you didn't want to be his mom, right, with all of that trauma, because Dad had trauma. Dad said, I didn't know, because they asked AD, what she thought of the conversation that Clay's mom and dad had. And so she said, it was good. She said, I don't want to be his mom. Right. So if you don't want to be his mom, right, then you have to give him the time to fix it, to work on it. And that's what he actively pursued. He pursued how to fix it. So know that he wasn't playing in your face. And I get it. It hurts, because in the moment, it felt like he didn't want you. But it wasn't that he didn't want you. It's that he absolutely wanted you. He just was nervous about him, right? He was nervous about whether or not he was going to be a good husband, whether he was going to be, a good partner for you. And at the time, he didn't think that he was. He saved you a boatload of hurt, because he'd have been around there. You see what Rita went through, okay? And how they broke up, right? And even after the cheatation, she still stayed. And it only led to them divorcing. And what did it do? It played out for Clay. And we don't know how it played out for his siblings either, right? So if you don't want to be his mom, then you have to give him time to fix it. And he fixed it. He worked on it. So girl, go around there and be with him. Y'all make a cute couple. And P.S., did y'all think that Clay looked like he could be AD's mom's son? AD's mom and Clay, to me, look alike. Like, I thought they looked more like mother and son than her mom and her did. Did y'all see that? No? Was it just me? And I didn't see who he looked like. I didn't think he looked like mom or dad. So there's that. But you don't want to be his mom, give him time to fix it. Okay? All right, great. what did I say? I said he went to therapy. He went to therapy to not wear his parents' issues. Awesome sauce. Like, that's amazing that he went to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Again, he didn't want to bring that to you. Be thankful. Pumpkin, please, and thank you. Him and his dad talked, and he says his father is doing the best, and Clay has accepted his best, which is also important, right? Like, it's important. Dad showed up and was like, look, son, right? He talked to him in the only way that dad could, and Clay had a choice, and he accepted it, and he didn't make dad go, you know, tell me this, so on and so forth. Dad did the best that he could, and he accepted it, because as parents, you know, we make all types of mistakes, and we are not perfect, and we are, you know, blessed when our kids just understand us, right? Especially when we're trying, and it's okay to try. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. And this whole idea, I think Clay said, you know, he was thinking happy wife, happy life. And I've been dealing with that actually with some of my sessions, that it's this idea, I think, when we talk about marriage, and where did that saying, you know, come from, that it's a happy wife, happy life. And that doesn't actually make room for our spouse, right? And whatever, you know, whatever coupledom you have, you know, same sex, hetero, same sex, like, it doesn't matter. But it needs to be happy spouse, happy house. Then that makes room for everybody in the marriage. Because it can't be just about, well, your job is to please me. Our job is to please one another and to show up and be our best for, you know, our partners. Not that we only need to be catered to. Yes, it's good for us to be catered to, but we also have to do the catering in relationships. That's what makes it reciprocal. And that's what's super important. Y'all, I loved that Clay looked up to Brett as an example. And he's like, you know, he said, as a black man, he said, as a man, it just warmed my heart. You know, sometimes, again, in these podcast spaces, we're all talking about, you know, we don't see men holding one another accountable when they're doing wrong. But in this instance, right, he found another man to look up to, because he didn't have it for himself. He didn't have it with his own family. So he had to look, you know, externally and outward, and he saw Brett. And to be able to big Brett up and go, Brett, man, you were an example. Awesome. Kudos. Wonderful. Beautiful. And the fact that, you know, Brett is like, hey, I'm just doing the best that I can because I didn't have a role model either, just warmed my heart. I love you, black men. I love y'all for doing what y'all doing, you know, for bigging each other up. I love to see it. And for anybody that's got a problem that's like, Sherelle, you talking a little bit too much about race and black people. Let me tell you something. I'm a black woman. I love black people. I'm going to always talk about race, because race is everywhere and it is the basis of everything. And I wouldn't have to talk about it if everything was, you know, equitable, and it's not, right? So I'll be talking about it. And if you have a problem with it, besides the fact that you could watch somebody else's channel, you also should look at and look into why it bothers you so much, right? So there's some work for you to do there. Okay, all right. Because over here, we finna celebrate all things blackity black. Just letting you know, as we're getting acquainted with one another and everything like that there. Okay, great, thanks. Again, the Jessica, Sarah Ann business. It's just that we like who we like, and we will rationalize all the things that are going on for the people that we like. And there's just that. I'm glad we're here. I am confused, and maybe y'all can help me, because I'm confused about this Jimmy and his homegirl situation. Did that happen when I was asleep? I don't know. Because last, video, I told y'all that I was sleeping on part of it, but I feel like I got to the meat and potatoes of this thing. I am real confused about this. So Jimmy tells his fiance, like, hey, I got a homegirl, and me and her had hooked up and had the sex and everything like that. And it was bothersome for her, and she brought it up, and you worried about how your friend gonna feel about it? I'm so confused. Why is this a secret? Listen here. If y'all did it, then y'all did it. Stand in it and just let it be what it is. I don't understand this secret business. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. And as far as I'm concerned, for you to be bothered with her so much so that you guys just couldn't overcome it, and you were so upset about the fact that she I don't know, let the cat out of the bag, that she didn't honor your friend or whatever the case may be, and it ultimately hindered your relationship, then it seems to me that you are more concerned about your homegirl than you are with your relationship with Chelsea. And if it was that simple to break, then I am wondering, about the love. And let me tell you this, let me say this. Love is not linear, right? Like, it is cyclical, has ups and downs, and it's so awesome to be in love. I remember the new stages of love. Oh God. It's wonderful. It's amazing. And I hope that everybody gets to experience it. And the real work comes into maintaining it, because there's going to be some times when you look over at your spouse and you ain't going to like them. You know what I mean? So, I love that we're seeing couples that are still together. They're together 2 years later, 3 years later, things of that nature. But, in the heat of the moment, in these new relationships and, everybody just all amped up. I'm just still a little confused about Jimmy and this homegirl that had the relations. It's a little odd. It's a little odd. I just don't get it. I mean, y'all didn't work out. Maybe you could have. Maybe if there was some more counseling. I don't know. I know you guys said that you had tried to work it out and overcome it, but you weren't successful. So I don't know. Just something my spidey senses tell me there's a little bit more work that needs to be done or should have been done. And I guess I'm kind of glad that you guys aren't together. Right? Like, there's that. And I'm also looks like Jessica's awesome sauce and wonderful, but how she built this really fast relationship with Chelsea, like, that feels weird. That don't feel weird to y'all? And is that why we didn't give her no smoke like we gave to Sarah Ann? I'm just asking. I'm just wondering. I don't know. But anyway, guys, that is the recap of Love is Blind. So, I hope that's great. And if you want to see more, then please, I think I'm supposed to say like and follow for more. But I hope to see you again. I'll talk to you later. Bye.